Hello everybody, my name is Sandra. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do a brush pen review video. I have not done one of these for a long time. I think for a while there I was the queen of brush pen videos because I had already purchased all of my entire collection and I had to review them after the fact. Now these are not necessarily new to me. I have tried the Staedtler brush pens before, but I saw these at Walmart and I had to pick them up. They are the metallic brush pens. There are 5 brush pens in here, and it says the tip size can range 1 to 6 millimeter for the brush stroke, and it says for light and dark paper. So I have already played around here with these just to see what they look like, and I'm going to swatch them for you and then we're going to talk about them a little bit. Okay, so first I'm going to do this on white paper. Now keep in mind that the type of paper that you use for brush pens, whether you're doing a project or whether you're just practicing, really matters. And so this is probably one of the most expensive papers you can buy. It is the HP Premium 32. So when I say most expensive, it's the most expensive copy paper you can buy. But this is generally the kind of paper you would like to use for planner inserts. But if you do use a lesser quality paper, like if it's just like a printing paper from Walmart or something, just know that your brush pens won't withstand they won't stand up to that for long, and they will eventually fray a little bit more quickly than if you use nicer paper. There is specialty paper you can use from like Michael's or particular craft stores. A lot of those types of paper are actually for the alcohol brush markers. So for example, the Tombows, the ones that have alcohol in them, and they're used for coloring, for professional sketches, and for layering, and for professional color, like people who color professionally. I don't even know if that's a thing, maybe. But for my purposes, we're just like showing you how the brush pens work and showing you the color swatches, so I don't need to use that type of paper. Although I do have, because I have Copic markers, and I also have Prismacolor alcohol brush markers. Those are my favorite pens of choice for alcohol markers. Although I would be interested in trying the Tombows. Needless to say, I went off on a tangent. So first what we're going to do is swatch the gold. And then normally what I do, usually breeze through this, like I'll just put it on fast forward mode or silent mode. But the first brush pen, I'm going to let you guys listen to the sound of it on the paper. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do the gold. Okay, I don't know if you could hear that. These pens are really, really juicy. Maybe I'll just zoom in for you. You can go ahead, hun. Okay, so now a couple of tips. If you are new to brush lettering, a couple of tips for brush lettering is when you are like, first tip, I guess, is it takes a lot of practice. So this is not something that you can learn overnight. You can practice a lot. You can practice as much as you can, but it's not a skill that you learn like just overnight. Practice makes perfect in most cases, and this is definitely one of those cases. So some of the basic strokes, for example, is a downstroke, and you can come up, and every time you press down, you're going down, you want to have the stroke wider, and then when you go up, you make it skinny. Okay, so if you go up first, and then you come down and around and make it wider. There's also the C shape. Okay, there's the O shape, and there's the L with the curve. I think that's it. Anyway, so I just recommend, I think you can get free templates online. You don't have to purchase anything. When I first started lettering like 5 years ago, I actually did purchase a book from Indigo, but I mean, you don't have to purchase anything. It definitely takes a lot of time. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and swatch the rest of these on white paper, and then I'll do the same on black paper.
Want Want the good, want the bad, all the feelings. Want you happy and sad in between them. If there's one thing I truly believe in, ordinary love, ordinary love. I wanna oversleep in your shirt 'cause it's ours. Brush my teeth while you're taking a shower. If there's one thing I know, there is power in ordinary love, ordinary love. Don't you ever say you are not enough, baby, you're enough. So don't you be afraid and take a leap of faith. It doesn't have to be holy, holy. I'm not asking for a God, just as long as you show me some ordinary love. So kiss me in the night, tell me that you're mine. Don't need much to believe, doesn't have to be.
So as you can see, I have swatched the brush pens on white paper and black paper. So now I'm just going to talk about the actual pen for a little bit. These pens have quite a soft nib, so when I'm using the pen, it literally will like bend right perpendicular down to the paper. The tip is very soft, and I've noticed that writing on this black paper, it's quite a bit more rough than this paper. This has already destroyed my pen. So I don't know about all types of black paper. I know it takes a special kind of formulation for black paper. I would use this paper. This is from Tombow. I think I got this in one of the subscription boxes that are like super, super cheap for a few products. And I think I would use gel pen on this, but not necessarily brush pens. The pens themselves show up really, really good on black paper. So I think that's really cool to note. And honestly, the colors themselves, I see the color of the brush pen, but they're not, like the copper and the blue aren't really that metallic. The gold and the silver definitely are a little bit more, but the other ones aren't. I don't know if you can see it on this paper in this lighting, but I can still see the white show up on the paper if I turn it at a certain angle. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's right underneath the blue right here. And yeah, it's kind of interesting. They remind me very much of the Tombow Fudenosuke pastel pens because they have a white one in that. Actually, I'm going to get it out here and I'll swatch it. Here it is. So I'm just going to use it to write up here, or maybe we'll go on this side and I'll see how much more white it is. So it's funny because it shows up as just like liquid on the paper and it doesn't turn white until after. Like, it's so weird. You can see right there, like it's changing right in front of our eyes. And if you do a double layer, it shows up even better. So compared to the Tombow, this one's really cool. Like, it shows up right away. I do find this rather interesting. But yeah, if you do a second round, I think it actually shows up even better. And it shows up a little bit more white, but this one's pretty opaque. So that is actually really cool, especially on the black paper. So yeah, so these pens, I mean, if you were doing a professional project, I don't know if I would recommend these pens. I think the Caron markers are a lot easier to use. And I think okay, this wasn't copper, by the way, that was supposed to be red. It's red, not copper. But I do think Caron markers have a better tip. They're also a soft, larger nib, but the Staedtler ones, I think I remember vaguely, I remember swatching the regular Staedtler pens. If I can find the video, I'll link that video. It has been a long time since I've done a brush pen review. Let's see if it says, all it says is for opaque writing and decorating on light and dark paper as well as on card. And that's all it says. It's, here it says 1 to 6 millimeters. So yeah, I mean, you can get a really fine tip if you use light pressure, and then coming down, you can get a really large width of writing. But I believe these, I think I paid $11.79 for them Canadian. and that's for 5 pens. So, I mean, it depends what you want to use them for. If you want to use them for like art projects or card making, by all means, but I'm not sure if I would use these as a professional tool. The pens fray really, really easily. And that's even with the normal ones, I notice that they frayed and they bent really easily. So the tip wouldn't keep its shape. It's not like a Tombow marker where it's a little bit more firm and it really does keep its shape. Um, Even Marvy Le Plume, I remember vaguely. Marvy Le Plume too, they were really, really good brush pens, but they did dry out really quickly. Um, and yeah, these ones are juicy though. Like when you first write with them on the paper, they're fairly juicy. So I think that's it. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. If you found this video helpful at all, also leave me a comment. And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are new, I would love if you would consider subscribing, click on the bell button, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, friends.